Hey there, Aquarius. Welcome to your reading this is your bonus August reading, and we're going to look at the main events that are happening in August. And this isn't everything that's happening in August, but it's most of the things. So in your first row here, we're going to take a look at the triple conjunction. It's kind of already happened, but we're still going to be dealing with the energy, and that is between Mars, Uranus, and the North Node in Taurus. Again, pretty significant energy that everyone will be dealing with. You've all heard me talk about it. Next, in the next column, we're going to talk about the full moon in Aquarius on August 11th. And again, we're going to see how each one of these things is going to affect you for the month of August. So definitely let me know what you think of this type of reading. In the next row, we're going to look at the Uranus retrograde, which will be on August 24th, and that will be this row right here. And in your last row, we're going to take a look at the the new moon in Virgo, and that will be on the 27th. So far, it looks pretty good. It is interesting to me that pretty much every single person has also had the 10 of Wands. A lot of people have asked me why the readings are why there are similar cards between from sign to sign to sign. And again, like I've said a million times, I feel like we're kind of going to this energetic choke point, whatever you want to call it. It's like we're all being funneled into this energy, and I feel like it's just all the same. So that's a simple explanation. But here in your first row, let's jump right in here with the triple conjunction. You have this gratitude card. It just says gratitude on it, and I'll show you in a second. You also have this teapot. It says deep friendship with someone of the same sex. So there could be a new friend coming in for you here, and pretty much everyone has, it seems like a very social time. You have my card of socializing, which is the 8 of Wands. It's not the only socializing card, but definitely a card that I personally consider to be a card of socializing, and so I feel a lot of you, it could be a very social time. It's also interesting to me that you have the Knight of Wands, like everybody else. The reason I decided to do these readings is because of this triple conjunction. And I've been talking about this for 3 months at least, maybe longer, that the Knight of Wands keeps coming up. To me, this whole triple conjunction is about being spontaneous, opening up to spontaneous opportunities. That's what we're talking about in this first row. This is not something that is just going to last this week. This is something, the first week of August. This is for the whole month. But this is something I'd be thinking about for a long time, that there could be a lot of opportunity and a lot of spontaneous opportunity that just kind of comes out of nowhere, and you're going to have to be flexible to accept these things into your life. Again, I think the trick with this energy, since it's all in Taurus, is that we kind of need to be flexible because Taurus is a fixed sign. In this row here, you have the 7 of Pentacles, the Wheel of Fortune, and the 8 of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune, I kind of get this feeling of really making something more solid here. It's kind of a weird feeling. I wouldn't really say that this is... I don't feel like this is you revisiting an idea necessarily, but I kind of feel like you've been processing an idea for a very long time. I feel like I've said this to you in the recent past as well. And it's definitely an energy that I'm getting here. But it's something where I feel it's taken you a long time to think about it. Like maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, or maybe you want to start a business or get into a relationship. It's something that you've been thinking about for a long time, that you've been processing. And I feel it's starting to become more and more solid, more and more real. I would be, my one thing is I would be kind of a little bit careful of what people say to you. If you're, I'd be careful of sharing your ideas is what I'm getting here intuitively, especially around the first week of this month for sure. Because I feel like if people, I don't know, I'm an Aquarius rising, right? If I share an idea and then, people in my life are always like, when are you going to get started? When are you get started? Drives me crazy because it's I like to do things at my own pace, and maybe it's a little bit slow because I'm like a snail, but at the same time, it's eventually I get started, right? And so I would be very, very careful of kind of telling people that you're going to start something before it's solid. But again, I do feel that something is kind of becoming a little bit more solid. That's the feeling I get on the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like something is something that's part of your destiny even could be becoming a little bit more real. You have the 7 of Pentacles as well. Is the juice worth the squeeze? I feel like this could be something that's kind of stopping you from taking action. 7 of Pentacles, he's looking at those 7 Pentacles and he's saying, is it worth it for me to get started on something new? And he's kind of looking at everything from his past. You can see that these Pentacles are kind of behind him, so they're in his past position. And the problem is, there is no answer. I'm going to clarify some of these cards at the end, but there is no answer here, Aquarius, other than to get started. So, I feel like you're not, and I also feel that if you're like judging a new idea based off of past experience, it's like we're in a totally different time. So it's like things are not going to go how they went for you last time or years ago or whatever. So if you're kind of revisiting an idea, revitalizing an idea, rebirthing an idea to, especially for those of you that this is career, work, business, something along those lines. For some of you, I'm getting going back to school as well. Maybe you've been thinking about going back to school here. I feel like it's just going to be completely different this time. And there is no, if you're like, again, with the Seven of Pentacles, I don't think it's bad or good here. I feel like it's just saying, if you're looking at it and saying, oh, it's going to be just like last time, no. And that could be a good thing. You have the Eight of Cups as well. Pretty much everybody's just walking away from things that no longer serve them. So that doesn't really surprise me that it's showing up, at this time. Next, in the area of the full moon in Aquarius on August 11th, you have this Stingray card. You also have this Camel card. It says, persevere and you will overcome obstacles. Pretty much everything I was talking about on the Stingray card, we're going to start here because this Stingray is about like developing a backbone. It's about adding structure to something that you have been working on for a while. So again, I feel you are adding structure to like an idea or a plan that you've had for a very long time. I do feel like a need to kind of, keep going with the camel. I feel like it says persevere on it, and I do feel I need to kind of like push through some obstacles. I feel like there are very kind of practical ideas that exist in the world that could help you progress, right? And I'm just going to tell you a little story. I was watching a video on YouTube, and someone was, YouTube is always changing, right? I've been doing this for a very long time. YouTube is always changing, and you just kind of have to roll with the punches, right? And it's kind of funny because I was watching this guy, and he was, he has a pretty big channel, and he was kind of complaining about all these changes. And one of the most recent changes, where like pretty much every creator, except for like the big ones, have seen a huge drop in their views and things like that. And it's kind of funny because it's like, I think old Chris probably would have been, right on that train with him. I would have been bitching and moaning, all about it, right? But it's like, I feel like after a few years ago, I don't know, something happened. I think I got hit on the head again or something, but something happened. And I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to complain about these things anymore. I'm just going to find a way, right? And it's like, even so, like last night, this morning, and everything like that, I've noticed a drop, but really, is it that big? It's not that big of a deal to me. I don't really, I do this because I want to do it. So I think that helps, number one. But number two, I was like, how can I grow? Like, what are some things that I could do? And it's like, I looked, and with very little research, I found some like very practical ideas. And I get that for you here, Aquarius, where I feel just, there could be some things that maybe are slowing down, but I feel like with a little bit of research, there could be some practical ideas. I always go to, experts. I'm like, who are the smartest people on social media, right? Gary Vee, there are plenty of others, right? One video I watched of his like gave me a million ideas. And that's all we need right now. We just need, the way that I look at the time right now is Ace of Pentacles. You don't have the Ace of Pentacles here, but because I'm trying to make a point, but everybody's been getting the Ace of Pentacles. To me, it's seed planting time. Taurus, planting seeds, right? Slow, methodical, doing the work, building something that's going to last for a very long period of time. So it might not grow as quickly as you want, right? Your business, a relationship, but it's going to be stable. It's going to last for a long time as well. And I know I'm speaking very generally here, but I would look at this time as like, what seeds can I plant? How can I nurture them? How can I make them grow? And, that's what I would start doing. I feel like the people that do that right now are going to be like ridiculously successful. And this goes for everyone. If you're a cross watcher or whatever, this applies to you as well. So, I would definitely be putting in the work with this energy. In this row, you have the Eight of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Nine of Wands. The Eight of Wands, again, very quick success. So Eight of Wands represents quick conclusions, quick success in general. It's also, traditionally it was a card of like the arrows of love. We're always telling the universe what we want, and the universe is responding. Traditionally, it was like telling the universe what type of person you want in love, and the universe responds. So it's considered to be a good card. But, it kind of reminds me of Esther Hicks talks about the rockets of desire, where we're always telling the universe what we want by, just kind of our feelings or our thoughts, the things that we're thinking about for the most part. And, we're always telling the universe what we want with our thoughts. So I would take control of your thoughts at this time. It seems to be one of those times where really, just based off of what I've been getting, the astrology, Neptune and Pisces, Neptune and Pisces is manifestation on steroids. So I keep telling people, it's like, why do you think I focus on this stuff? Because it works, and, it's free, and you should be doing it right now. So I would be focusing on the things that you're thinking about. But more importantly, I think that the seeds that you're planting are going to grow much faster than you realize with that Eight of Wands. You also have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is my card of throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks. It's also a card of perseverance, right? So I feel like there is a good chance that sticking with something is going to lead to more success. So I would not be giving up on anything that has been working for you for a while. I think it just needs some experimentation. I think it just needs some seeds, new seeds planted, right? I'm planting new seeds on this channel. I'm getting ready to get started on another channel, but don't talk to me about it because just like I said, it's like the more people are like, when are you going to get started? It slows me down more, right? But what I would say is I've planted seeds here, Aquarius. So I'd be planting seeds with this Nine of Wands, experimenting. And again, I would be doing some research, maybe looking for some experts. King of Swords has been coming up a lot in the readings. So again, that would be like experts, mentors, people you look up to. Gender doesn't matter. And that's who I would be learning from. It seems to me like the energy is very straightforward as far as like what we should be learning from. And again, it doesn't mean we have to take their information as gospel either. It just means, we could learn something from them. Or maybe not. Maybe we figure something out that doesn't work and we could find a better way, right? And finally, you have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is about bathing in energy as much as possible. I talked about this in another video, like a long time ago. I had a business failure and I just started creating these like small wins in my life to get out of this hole that I was in. Long story short, it's a much longer story. You've all heard me say it, but I just started creating these small wins every single day. And what I noticed was then I started having some bigger wins, but I would kind of like just like blast right past the win. Whatever it was, maybe I would, be able to afford something I wanted or, have an experience that I wanted to have. I would be able to travel or whatever. And I was noticing that I was just like, kind of like rushing right through it. Nine of Cups is a card of fulfillment, and it's a card of like really needing to like bathe in the energy, really needing to celebrate the celebration, really needing to celebrate the wins that you're having. You can see that he looks a little bit chubby on this card, and it's because he's about to have a feast, and it kind of represents the fact that he's had a feast or he's had feasts in the past and he's about to have another one. It kind of suggests that he is someone who experiences like something good. So it kind of says that we need to experience something before we can have it in our life. So the other part of that is if you want more celebrations, celebrate your celebrations. Like try to drag the wins out. Try to soak in the energy. Now when something good happens to me, I try to, enjoy it as much as I possibly can. Years ago, like I didn't have a car when my brother and I moved to Seattle, and then I finally got a car, right? And it's like now when I'm sitting in traffic, most people complain, but now I'm like, I'm super grateful that I have a car now, right? So that's what I mean by celebrating the things that you have. I think sometimes we complain about those things like traffic, but it's like, we could still be riding horses and it could take you a hell of a lot longer to get to where you're going. So I kind of feel the Nine of Cups is talking a little bit about gratitude, which you have in that first row. And again, you're just going to attract more good stuff by soaking in that energy. Next, for the Uranus retrograde on the 24th, you have the full moon in Pisces. It says balance spiritually and practically. And you also have this yoke card. It says feeling tied down or frustrated. I do feel some of you maybe feel stuck to something that you could easily remove yourself from. I kind of get this feeling here, Aquarius, of you starting to think that maybe you want to have more experiences in your life. I'm pretty sure I've said this to you in the recent past as well. It seems to me like there's something all of a sudden, maybe I said this like a couple weeks ago too, I think, and it seems to me like there are some things where maybe you are, just to give you some examples, maybe you haven't like traveled very far, talking about travel, and I feel like now you're thinking, what does the rest of the world look like? Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you always date the same type of person. You're like, I want to try a different type of person and see what the world has to offer, right? I kind of just get this feeling of that type of expansion. It's like, I don't think you're really stuck with this card. I just think you're saying to yourself, like, I would like to have some more expansive experiences. I would say that's a good thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. With this balance card, I do feel that, again, you are kind of like balancing things out. It is funny that it says spiritually and practically. It kind of reminds me of the law of attraction. Obviously, I love the law of attraction. I love Esther Hicks. I talk about her all the time. But sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, I totally understand what she's saying, and other spiritual teachers say about like not needing to work hard and all this other stuff. But, sometimes I think some of them, not so much Esther, but some of them are guilty of like making it seem like you have nothing to do, like you don't have to do any work and, all this other stuff. When, clearly, I believe that we are spirit here on earth to have a human experience. So, I'm not afraid to do hard work and stuff like that. And that's what I think. I think it's saying balance the two things out. It's like, should you be, working till your fingers bleed? Of course not. But, of course, things need to be worked on. In this row, you have the Hangman, the Four of Swords, and the Star, you showing up here. The Hangman is like a card of gaining enlightenment. His head is glowing on this card. He's also made a sacrifice. He's sacrificed the use of his arms and his legs, and he's hanging from the Tree of Knowledge and Wisdom. And I feel you've gained a lot of knowledge and wisdom. I feel the sacrifices you've made are more for personal reasons, like like what's popping into my head is like children. I'm trying to think, maybe like family. Maybe you've made some sacrifices because of family. It's like maybe you haven't gone and done things because of family. And there are some other ones that are popping into my head here. But long story short, again, I would get like moving. I feel like now is your time, is what this card is saying. I feel like it's saying like, okay, you did that, you learned from those experiences. Now it's like time for a little bit of you time, is what I'm getting on that Hangman. Next, you have the Four of Swords. Again, everything in your reading is talking about maybe a dream becoming a little bit more solid. He's kind of meditating or sleeping here. There's this person up here, if I can get my fingers to work, right here, who's like receiving blessings from another person. So he's kind of like hoping and praying to receive some blessings in his life, or maybe he's hoping that some certain blessings do come into his life. So I feel like you've been hoping and praying for blessings. Even here, you have the Star, which is you. So you're showing up in a very strong position in your reading. But it's also a card of kind of like wishes and hopes and dreams and receiving blessings and good things coming in for you. The interesting thing is it's like in this row here, you go Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Cups to the Star. So there are clearly some, it's clearly like a lucky time. There are clearly some like wishes, some good things coming in for you with this Star energy, is what I would say to you. Again, I get this feeling of kind of seeing the big picture. There's a bird, this ibis right here in this tree. And on the Star card, it represents seeing the whole picture, seeing the big picture, kind of getting a bird's eye view on your life, the things that are happening. And that I get more of that feeling of kind of something becoming more solid in your life, like your vision for your life, or whatever you want to call it. In your last row here with the new moon in Virgo, you have this Go the Distance card. You also have this Angel card. It says spiritual guidance, protection from harm. I think it's time to take a risk. King of Wands, Knight of Wands, these cards are cards of like really going for something that you want. Same thing here. Go the distance, and you have this protection card. So if you've been thinking about diving into something, whether it's a business, a job, a relationship, I feel like this is saying do it. Don't just dip your toes in the water, which I feel like I've said a million times in these readings. I probably have. But you have the Star card. She kind of has her like foot dangling over the water. She's like, is it hot? Is it too hot? Is the water hot? Can I get in here? All these questions. And I feel like this is saying, if you're going to do something, go all the way, because you will be successful. You have the Ten of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands, again, has been coming up for everyone for the past, 3 months. I've been encouraging people to grab on to spontaneous opportunities. I would just, I'm kind of, in just say yes mode as well. It's like, I'm a Pisces, right? I rather stay home all the time. But it's lately, my brother's been, my brother goes out all the time. He's a typical Leo, right? Always partying. And, lately, I just say yes. Anytime he wants to go out or do things, I'm always yes, I'm just going to go, right, and have a good time. That's what I mean by kind of just say yes mode. Because it's right now, if there was ever a time with this energy where, you could, bump into the love of your life, or you could, meet a person who tells you something that, totally changes your business, it would be, right now. It's kind of one of those times where it's you never know where these, guides, these people that are kind of led into our life might come from. But it's we have to go on the adventure with the Knight of Wands. We have to put ourselves into the opportunity. And so, that's what I would be doing with the Knight of Wands. And again, I would also be experimenting in business. You've probably all heard me say it, but again, I'm going to say it again. I encourage people to kind of follow the 80-20 rule in business right now. 80% of the time, do what works. 20% of the time, try something new. Try new things. Try things differently. We want to do what works because, it's we need to have a stable platform, Taurus. But also, conflicting energy with this triple conjunction, we also need to be flexible. So it's I think the best way to balance it out is 80-20, basically. And that's what I would be doing with the Knight of Wands. The trick here is, again, you're going to need to go on an adventure with the Knight of Wands. You're going to need to, find these new ideas, especially in work or business. But if you're wanting to experiment in your love life or find new people, again, you're going to have to go on some sort of adventure. That could be, going out to a bar. That could be going and playing golf. I don't know, whatever you want to do. Next, you have the King of Wands. The King of Wands is, again, about being bold, assertive, really making things happen. I'm telling you right now, I feel like for those of you that have your own business, I feel like this is very good. For those of you who are entrepreneurial, I feel like there's a lot of success coming in for you. I also do feel for some of you that there could be a fire sign coming in for you if you are looking for love. So for those of you that want love, this could be a fire sign coming in for you. It could also just be someone who's very passionate, or who you are very passionate about. You also have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is like experiencing a burden. It's kind of like that yoke card that you had, feeling attached to something. I do feel for like some of you that there could be an attachment in your life, could be a past person. I feel intuitively. It could be a fire sign, could be anything. Take it how it resonates. And I do feel that, it's kind of like, there could be a person who is preventing you from having these experiences that we were talking about earlier. And for whatever reason, I feel like one of the main themes in your reading here, sorry, these cards are flipping around on me. One of the main themes here is to have experiences. So I would open up to the experiences or to new experiences so that you can have them. I also feel, if you're wondering like, who is this person? Well, like I said, I feel like it could be a past lover. It could also be family that's maybe you feel is holding you back. But it's like, I feel, if you look at yourself, it's like maybe you're in a much better position than they are in life. And I feel like that's kind of a clue for some reason that you should like take action and go do something. I'm not going to clarify the whole reading because we'll be here all day. I'm just going to clarify part of it. Or like one card from each row. So in the first row here for the triple conjunction, I'm going to go for the Wheel of Fortune. You have the King of Cups. Really important that you like focus on your feelings. I've said this to everyone. It's like we are in this time where I feel it's like if we're not doing something that like our heart truly desires and wants, then it's not going to work out well. It's like I always say to people like about career. It's like if you have a career that you hate and you're not doing something that you want to do, then probably not going to work out so well for you. So I really feel we need to kind of trust our emotions or listen to our emotions. That does not mean, by the way, that you have to leave your career, right? It's like if you have a career and it's your only form of support right now, that means that it's like, what can you love about it? Even if it's just like the carpet. It's like maybe the carpet at your job has a nice pattern. Start there, right? Start small. 9 of Cups. You got to bathe in the energy. And if that means you have to create it in your head, then that's what I'd do for now. And in the meantime, I'd start looking for something else if you don't like it, right? But it's like, what can you I feel the 9 of Cups, that gratitude card as well, is kind of like saying the best way out of anything is like, what can you be grateful for right now, even if it's just the carpet? It's like maybe Susan every single day, maybe she's really annoying, but maybe she wears nice shoes, right? You can enjoy that about the people you work with, whatever, right? So I would be kind of like looking for those types of things. If you're in a negative situation. For the full moon in Aquarius, I want to clarify this 8 of Wands. You have the 6 of Pentacles. I mean, literally everything I was talking about. 6 of Pentacles is my card of planting seeds. So there you go. 6 of Pentacles says plant seeds. This could be in any area of your life. See what works. The things that work, double down on those things. And then the things that don't work, get rid of it. It's like literally what I do with this channel. People are like, how did you grow so quickly? Although I really didn't. It took me 7 years, right, to get here. It's like other people have done it in like a year, this many subs. So really wasn't that quick. But what I started doing is I just started focusing on what works, doubled down on it, and that was it. I know it's not. People probably want to hear that there's some like magic button. There isn't. I also want to clarify this 9 of Wands here. With the 9 of Wands, you have the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands about passion. So again, I would let your passions kind of guide you at this time. You could be very excited about something, if you're trying to grow your business, then you're looking for experiments. There are things that could be more exciting. Those are the things I would try with the Ace of Wands. I also feel that some of you, there's like, something here about love. For some of you, I almost feel like there's like a person you can't ignore with that Ace of Wands, someone that you're very passionate about. So for some of you, might already have a person in your life, but I don't know, it feels distant to me is what I would say. I'm not saying there's distance, as in long distance, could be, but I just feel distance in general. In the next row with the Uranus retrograde, I want to clarify the star. You have the Justice card, again, cause and effect. I mean, I basically am like a parrot that just repeats himself. As I've been saying all 2022, the answer to 2022 is the Justice card, cause and effect. It's like if you put energy into something, do you get energy back? If the answer is yes, keep going. If the answer is no, stop, right? So we really need to like pay attention to that, I feel, with this energy. In your last row with the new moon in Virgo, I want to clarify that 10 of Wands. You have the Queen of Wands. You have the King and Queen of Wands here. So again, if there's love coming in for you, I feel like it's someone that you are going to be very attracted to. If you are not looking for love, I feel like this is, again, kind of like saying with that angel card, which says protection from harm, I feel like it's talking about protection from risk. I always say that the King, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, they all have salamanders on their cloaks. The salamanders represent protection from fire, basically protection from harm. The Queen of Wands, she does not have any salamanders on her card. So the Queen of Wands is not protected from fire, but she is extremely bold, assertive. She really goes for the things that she wants, and that's what I feel like this reading is saying. But this is a really good reading. Again, I feel like you're finally getting to a place where, again, I don't think you're going back to something as far as an idea is concerned. I feel like something is just forming. It's like taking form in the real world, and like an idea that you've had for a long time. And again, I kind of feel there's an energy here that's saying to me that I don't want to say to you, like, it's funny because I said this the other day to Leo, something very similar, not exactly what I'm about to say, but Leo is your opposite sign. That's why I'm telling you this, is that I feel like something could, progress a lot easier than it has been. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but what it does mean is I feel like if you pay attention, take advantage of spontaneous opportunities, and again, this could be about anything you want to improve in your life, love, health, business, whatever. What I would be doing is planting seeds, nurturing them, like I said, playing the whole 80-20 rule game, paying attention to give and take. I feel like it's very simple. I feel like things will grow very, very quickly. So I like this. I feel like this is very good. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, definitely let me know what you think of this type of reading down below. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.